Welcome in, welcome. Surprise live. Ryder, can you bring me my vape, please, mate? Rightio, I'm here. How's going? Did I do time with the Fallon Show? Yes, I did. Good evening, everyone. Glenn, Chriso, XSYL, Nathan Dean, Trevor Smith, Jack420, Jay Ephraim, Heath, Glenn Sanderson, King Muzz, Richard. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that and disrespect you, my friend. Craig, Louis Thomas, welcome in. Welcome. So I literally just walked in the door, just got back from Melbourne. Whew, what a bloody friggin' full-on few days it's been. How's that murder this morning of the bloke they suspect being involved in? Oh, yeah? No, I didn't even see that, actually. Good evening, Crazy Dave, Balliam, what's going on? Lisa. Husey, that's my cousin right there. Nice little photo. You're such a big head fucking wanker. What are you all up to, anywho? Geez, I'll tell you what. I thought doing a good deed. It seems a few people, it made a few people unhappy. So I'm only going to say this once. So if everyone will see, they will see that there's two different takes in that video. I film and I say I'm about to make a homeless person's day. And then it goes into another video. So I actually stopped and asked her if she minds if I film her, rah. So it wasn't like I just walked up to her and said, hey, here's a hotel key. And her dog is fine staying in that hotel. That's the reason why I picked her. So that's a dog-friendly hotel. I was just watching a bull ant. Yeah, true. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to help you this morning. Well, it turns out Keithy's not going to wake from his slumber this morning. So, yeah, cracking news. I get a text message early on today saying Keithy George was found unalived this morning. So this is what blew my mind even more. So a lot of people were saying that he was released. So that was true. He was released last year. He only done 18 years. And so, yeah. Oh, Keithy George. Off to the sick bay. Oh, fucking whinge. Not coming. Well, he won't be coming back, will he, Mark? He didn't wake up today. Sorry, all I've been thinking about all day is the Chopper movie and like that whole Keithy George scene playing out in my head all day. I was like, yeah. Evie, what's going on? Colin, Reds Rides, Atypical, Yvette Proctor. Anyone else that I missed? Trey says, come back to Tassie. I will come back to Tassie. I'll tell you what, Trey. If you take me through Tasmania's craziest neighborhoods, I will come back to Tasmania next week. Where's Tex? Is old Tex in here? All right, bro. Hey, my email, Trey. Send me an email, brother. My email is Big Biffs Gaming. So BIGBIFFSGAMING BigBiffsGaming@gmail.com. Anyone wants to send me an email, chuck me an email. I'll take you through the Bronx. Yeah, do that, bro. That's where I want to go. I want to go to the Bronx. 18 years went too soon. What? Hi, Bongdo. Am I tired? I am. I'm absolutely fucking wrecked, if I'm honest. So, like, I've got to remember, right? Here's the truth. I suffer from multiple sclerosis, right? A lot of you guys know that. Some of you guys might not know that. So, like, sometimes I can be a little bit careless, and like, so I usually don't feel the effects until after. So, like, I've never done so much walking in the last 3 days than I've done in the last friggin' 15 years. I reckon I've lost 4 kilos just from walking around Melbourne. But I was so lucky. So when I was doing my walk around the map yesterday and getting footage on the map, I managed to get an interview, as I told you last night, with one of the screws from the map. So yeah, I'll drop that tomorrow. Just got out after first ever stint, first ever charges, and found you. So appreciate that you do keep it up. Thank you, Dusky. How'd you go for your first sentence, mate? How'd you go? Good to hear your recounts on everything you've been through, mate. I'm a support worker and I've helped people with your physical impairment. Kind of a thing to live with. Yeah, so that's actually why I stayed in Melbourne for so long, is because I had my neurologist appointment today. I fucking start my new medication next month. I cannot wait. And let's just hope. Fingers crossed. Do you know what I mean? MS is freaking crazy. It's the craziest thing, and I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, Glenn, I do. Do you know what I mean? And I always do it to myself. I always like overdo myself, and then like you watch the next couple of days, I'll be friggin' wrecked. Oh, thank you, Atypical. Between Keith and Gobbo, there were perversions of the course of justice. Yeah, so listen, what I can say, right? I've made it known that, and as a matter of fact, so Ange's cousin's probably in the chat right now. So I've made it known I was good mates with Ange Goosis in prison. And so, like, as I said in my video, so Keith 4 said a lot of lies about Ange. Ange got 35 years for it, kept his mouth shut. That's how fucking solid he is. But yeah, there's a lot of people that were affected by Keith 4 and Gobbo, that now this is a whole different beginning for those people now that the super snitch is gone. Jim Bob. Bro, that would be the silliest question to ask ever. No one. And if anyone would answer that question, they'd just be silly. Sammy, how you doing? Keith was definitely hidden away in another state, Colin. 100%. So Keith was hidden away. This is how hidden away he was. So, like, my ear's pretty close to the ground. You know what I mean? I've still got a lot of people, a lot of contacts. My network is huge. And so, like, I had people when I done the Ange and Keith video, right? And how Keith made up a lot of lies about Ange, right? So I had a lot of people tell me that Keith was actually released last year, and I just said, no way. There's no way. In my mind, that dickhead got not one moment taken off his sentence for what he did. But I was actually gobsmacked today to find out that he was released. So his parole came up in 2023. Yeah. Charlie, good evening, people. Looks like you won't be losing any sleep tonight with. Oh, yeah. Look, all I can say is that guy told so many lies about someone who I class as one of my very close friends. I said it before. His cousin's in the chat right now, and I stay in contact. And yeah, the amount of lies that guy said to ruin my friend's life, I I will not lose any sleep over it, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Do you know what I mean? The guy was a piece of shit. Valium, thank you. Yo, Biff, I was at the Martinage case, Ringwood, today, supporting the deceased poor dog's family. He's got a 2 months jail sentence, but appealed it. Wait, hang on. I am confused. Sorry, bro. I can be a little bit simple sometimes. I've been hit in the head a few times. Sniffles, this is 100% live. This isn't. So people get confused, right? So when I drop every single video I drop, so you guys don't get confused. So every single video I drop as a live premiere, yeah? And so that live premiere is like a live. So it has the live chat down the side there, like this one. And people get it confused because they think I'm live, but it's just a premiere. But this right here is live. Thank you, Jay. Excuse me, Ephraim. Hey, I'll tell you what. So, like I said before, a lot of people got pissed off because I gave a homeless person a hotel for the night, right? So just know that I'm not silly, yeah. So this is something that I wouldn't have given her those keys if I hadn't have putting it through the people that ran the hotel. I wouldn't have given her the hotel key if she wasn't allowed a dog in that hotel. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you just did it for clout, rah rah rah." I didn't do it for clout. Like I did it because I seen that person every single day when I walked out of my hotel room door, and that same person was sitting there, right? And yesterday, someone goes, "Oh, you're just doing it for clout." Well, I'll tell you what. Yesterday, right, I probably bought 36-inch, $5.99 Subway 6-inch, and I went around the city and I gave them to homeless people, which is what I do every single time I go to the city. I've been homeless myself. And it just pissed me off that like people would think that I would do that for clout. And like I said in my video, if people think that I would do that for clout, then maybe you're watching the wrong page. AB, what are you doing, brother? AB says, "Oh goddamn, my notification setting is fired. Don't even." I know. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. So, oi, bro, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes ago, I was thinking I should send AB a message saying that I'm live. AB, just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if I'm allowed to let people know what your position is with me right now. Thumbs up or a thumbs down. Thank you, Ryan. I know I don't have to justify myself, but I just thought that I'd let everyone know. Hey, Biff, can you box in prison? So here's a true story, right? So you guys would have watched, if you've seen like the Fallon Show podcast, you would have seen Dave do an interview with one of the ex Port Phillip screws. So every single time I got locked up at Port Phillip, that same screw would give me a brand new set of wraps and a brand new set of boxing mitts, and he would say, "Biff, please." The screws used to call me Biff too. He would say, "Biff, please take these and just don't fight people this sentence. Just put your energy into boxing." And so, like, yeah, you can box. All right. So for those of you who are wanting to know what the thumbs up or the thumbs down is about, so AB is an absolute legend, right? I've got so much respect for this man. And yeah, so AB is my manager. So AB has just taken on, you guys might have noticed about maybe 3 lives ago, I said that AB, you are 100% manager material. And yeah, so AB is now my manager. And let me tell you, let me just say something, right? Let me just say something. This guy takes his job very, very seriously. And when I say very, very seriously, I wouldn't just let anybody in on my inner circle and willy nilly just take, control. But let me tell you, this guy, I'd love to tell you his real name, but he's known by AB by everyone. Obviously, it's an anonymous browser, but yeah, just let me say that I've got so much respect for this guy. This guy, he's got a partner who's gone through the exact same blind disease that I'm going through, multiple sclerosis. And yeah, like I could say so much, but I know that I'll just keep it quiet. But let me just say that this guy has done so much for the Chaos Chronicles over the past 5 weeks that, like, yeah, it's just astonishing. And let me just say that yeah, like I've got so much love for you, brother. And yeah, you're a legend, bro. Sniffle says Machine Gun Charlie is a good bloke. So when he says Machine Gun Charlie, he is talking about Charlie Onordovic, aka Machine Gun Charlie. So Machine Gun Charlie famously got 12 years for 1 gram of marijuana. So, like, when I say like heroin, he got 12 years for heroin. And the guy is an absolute weapon. Let me just say this. The guy's probably 65 years old right now. And let me tell you, there ain't many people in their 20s that are going to want to mess with Machine Gun Charlie. Now, let me just say something also, right? So, a lot of people would think that Machine Gun Charlie is called Machine Gun Charlie because he uses machine guns or something, but that's not true. So, Machine Gun Charlie was a pro kickboxer, and they call him Machine Gun Charlie because of how quick he could throw his legs. True story. Glenn Sanderson says, "Is that the guy Ange fought?" So, yes, mate. Very up on your knowledge. So, yes. So, in the 90s, Ange Goosis was at Loddon Prison, and I believe Machine Gun Charlie was at Pentridge. And so Ange Goosis was a pro boxer and a pro kickboxer. And so there was a fight organized between prisons. So Machine Gun Charlie came down by escort van to Loddon Prison and fought Ange Goosis. And let me just say that Ange won that fight by a knockout kick. Knocked Machine Gun Charlie out. Now, that's no disrespect to Charlie. Charlie, you know I love you, brother, and I've done a lot of years with Charlie, so you know I would never disrespect your brother. But like, the truth is, the better man on that day was Ange. 100%. It's one of the biggest like known facts. So I'll tell you another story as well, and this is a story that no one would know. So all of you that are into YouTube clipping, start recording now because I'm about to tell you a story that no one knows. So, when I was at MRC doing my 9-year sentence, so I was still on remand. I hadn't been sentenced yet. This would have been about maybe So I got locked up at the start of 2010 and got let out at the end of 2019. So anyway, I remember I'd only just got to B yard at MRC. And if you know, you know. So MRC is a remand prison and is separated into 3 yards, right? So it's A yard, B yard, and C yard. This is how it goes. You go to A yard if you're a naughty boy. You go to B yard when you just got there, and you go to C yard if you're a worker or something like that. Yeah. So excuse me if I'm not reading the comments right now, but right, so I was in B yard. I'd only just got to B yard. I only just got locked up on my 9-year sentence. So me, my brother, and my other co-offender, absolute legend Bear, and so we just got there, and I remember seeing like a big group of people around the basketball court in A yard, right? And like I said, you only go to A yard if you're a naughty boy, yeah? If you've been done for smoking bupe or punching on or whatever, you go to A yard when you're naughty, yeah? And so there was this big crowd around the basketball court in A yard. And so me, my brother, and my other co-offender Bear, we ran straight over to the A yard fence and we're like, fuck, something must be going on here. And so what it was, no word of a lie. So it was Machine Gun Charlie and a screw from MRC. Remember I said you should be recording this if you're a clipper, right? So this was Machine Gun Charlie and a screw from MRC punching the shit out of each other on the basketball court. So this was a sanctioned fight. So there was as many screws as there was standing around the basketball court as there was crooks. And this was a sanctioned fight. So the screw that was fighting Machine Gun Charlie was also a pro fighter. So Machine Gun Charlie has a black belt in Zendu Kai and a black belt in black belt in Zendu Kai, and he's like Muay Thai specialist, right? But this screw was also a specialist as well. And so we ran over to the fence, and I remember looking over, and I remember looking at my brother going, holy shit, this is a screw punching on with a crook, yeah? And so we only found out later that this was a sanctioned fight, right? So, but let me just tell you right now that the same way that Ange ended the fight with Machine Gun, and so Machine Gun must have been about 52 years old at this time, and the screw he was fighting must have been about 30. And that screw ended up on the ground, spitting bubbles. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. And Machine Gun Charlie walked off like a fucking pro, ripped his fucking Velcro off his gloves, threw him to the ground, and walked off and just walked into his unit, didn't say a word to no one like the solid fucking crook he is. And that's what happened. Boof. Machine Gun Charlie, boof, knocked out a screw, bang. Same way that Ange knocked him out at Loddon. But yeah, there you go. So he didn't, bro. So Glenn, he didn't have his chest pumped out. I swear to God, Machine Gun is that much of a gentleman. So you guys have got to understand that guy got 12 years jail for under a gram of heroin, right? And kept his mouth shut. Could have done 1 month's jail, but didn't. He kept his mouth shut and done the time. And he's a different kettle of fish. He's an old school crook. And he wasn't puffing his chest out or nothing. He just walked straight back in the unit as if he was just having a brew with someone, and that was it, you know? Mr. Grumpy says, I got the clip. Awesome. Smash it out there on social media, mate. Thank you. Oi, Shem. Bro, is that the Shem? Are you the Shem I've done time with, bro? Bro, if you are that Shem, oi, respect, brother. You know, oi, bro. You know what it is, brother. Respect straight to you, bro. Straight back at ya. Do you know what? Nothing humbles me more than when I'm doing what I'm doing and people from my previous life get involved and say, look, we love what you're doing, Biff. Love it. You know? Or Shem. All I'll say, are you the Shem I was at at Port Phillip with? I was in Fishburn East and you were in Salamander, I believe. Are you that Shem? Please give me a thumbs up, bro. Because I swear to God, I was only thinking about you the other day. Hey, Biff, is there anything you missed from prison? Yeah, look, I am probably so James Kerr. I'll answer that question in a moment. So I'm probably not very, but I'm probably institutionalized. So there's a lot of thing I miss about prison, you know, and one of them is like being in an environment where I knew that I knew that there was more solid people than not solid people kind of thing. Um, you know, do I miss being locked up? Like, nah, like being locked up screwed up, you know, but like I miss certain things about it, if I'm honest. Oi, dancer, that's what I miss about prison, bro. The laughs. The laughs is what people don't understand. Parramatta Jail. Oi, Tex. Oi, so Tex, I actually just said, so I asked everyone before, they will say, where's Tex? So I said that I feel bad, brother. I do, but I've got my son staying at my house at the moment and I had my neurology appointment today. I had to go back home tonight because I've got to go back tomorrow. I'll contact you after the live, brother. But everyone who heard me say, where's Tex before, give me a thumbs up because, yeah. Parramatta Jail had some good boxers from the 70s that now run boxing gyms. All right. So, Tex, you'll be able to back me up on this, brother, right? So, Tex is someone who's like from my previous life, but is also a fucking legend and has changed his life as well, right? So, I'll tell you something. In the 90s and 80s, they used to have a boxing ring at the Map, yeah? Oh, different Shem. Sorry, brother. All right. So, but anyway, true story. There is tunnels. As you guys know, there's tunnels. The whole Melbourne is like as big as Melbourne is. There's an underground town kind of thing. So, Tex, back me up here and give me a thumbs up when I tell you. So, they used to take people from the Map to some secret location from underground and they would pay you for fighting people from the street, bare knuckle fights. Like this is, or actually, I've got to do a fucking video on this. I can't believe I haven't actually. So this is something that would blow your mind. So they literally used to pull crooks out of their cells in the middle of the night, right? Take them downstairs from the Map, and then they would take them to the secret location in the underground tunnels, and you would have fights for cash, bare fist fights, where the screws were making money on it, where there was people standing around like it was playing a game of two up in the 70s. Like this is a real fucking thing. Oi, I'm doing a video on this tomorrow. I can't believe I haven't. Oi, let me tell you, this is something that like people don't talk about, right? And so I always say there's a fine line between telling a story and telling on someone, yeah. But this is something I don't care about talking about because this is something the screws used to do at their own expense and make money off us crooks for fighting for money, right? And this is something that, like, I don't care about talking about because, like, fuck the screws, they're the enemy. And, like, they used to use us for their own good. And, yeah. Oi, Tex, you know it, brother. The bookies were there too. This was, like I said, For those of you who don't know what a two-up game is like, was exactly like a two-up game. There was a big circle. There was bookies there. There were people in suits there. There were people in green there. And there were screws there. And there were fights, underground fights. This is something that, like, doesn't ever get talked about. Stewie says, when was it and did you do it? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow, so you will find out. But I'll tell you something, right? And so a lot of people ask me, what does the nickname Biff mean? So if you know, you know. The initials Biff stands for Best in Fist Fighting. And so that was a nickname that I managed to keep from my very first sentence to my very last sentence. So that used to go on in the 90s and early 2000s. Happy Day says, does anyone remember that old two-up club in the city? Which one, bro? Which one? Lygon Street? Lygon Street or Latrobe or King Street? Am I wrong? Be interesting to know the legalities of getting phones to record that in the system. So yeah, so this was a time. So obviously the late 90s and early 2000s were times when they didn't have cameras on phones. Yeah, King Street. Yeah. Gonna go out for a McChicken. I had to do it last night. I got home and my son was pissing himself laughing. I said I literally went to McDonald's to buy a McChicken, and then I went searching for a dark alley. Anyway, it is what it is. Oi, where's Cyborg? Where's Cyborg? Original two up was above Kevin Waterson's gym in North Melbourne. Oh, yep. So, yeah, as you know, there's a very famous person who, used to spend a lot of time in Lygon Street that used to run the two up in Melbourne. So, ever go to Hosie's, Biff? Yeah, I did, 100%. So, I'm someone that was like lucky enough to go to Dome, and that was someone that was like, that was a different club. So, that was the club many crooks dragged out of the custody center to fight. 100%. Oi, Tex, how crazy were them days, bro? How crazy was prison before they had cameras, brother? Oi, and this is what people don't understand. So the map and every other single prison in Victoria had cameras in the late 90s and early 2000s, but Port Phillip didn't get cameras until 2018. That's no bullshit lie. That's 100%. Oi, did anyone ever used to go to the Spotswood? If you know, you know. Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. So the Spotswood's just under the Westgate Bridge. Luke Dempsey says, I'm talking about the mid 80s. Luke Dempsey, wasn't that Mickey Blue Eyes' name? Oi, Stewie just got a level 1 membership. Thank you for the base membership. So people often ask me why the memberships name what they are. So when you go to Port Phillip Prison, you get like a contract level, right? So when you first get there, you're on base. And then if you're a good boy, you go on to upper. And then if you're an even better boy, you go on to enhanced. So that's what all three of my levels are called. My memberships are called: upper, Base, upper, and enhanced. 100%. Welcome aboard the Chaos Train. Oi, Tex, doing time back then was better than it was now. Like, if I'm honest, at least back then, and this is going to blow you all away, at least back then when the heroin epidemic happened, there was still honor amongst thieves, right? This whole ice epidemic has blown that all out of the water. Were you inside when the prisons got the new plastic phones? No. So the last time I was locked up was I got out in May 2021. So just over 4 years ago. Bam. Fucking bam. That is like, I was actually saying that to somebody today. Like, I've never gone that long without going to prison since I've been 18 years old. Fucking oath. Let's go. Pool tables at the Carlton Club. Boy, how good was the Carlton Club? So, all cigarettes are banned in prisons Australia-wide now. Was it like a war zone when ciggies were banned? And how many forgotten pouches you reckon are still hidden? So many. There would be so many pouches still hidden. So there wasn't one prisoner in any prison that wasn't burying pouches, stashing pouches. Like, there would still be so many pouches buried. And if you know, MRC was built on an old tip. So I'm just going to take my jacket off. Yeah, MRC was built on an old tip. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to stash stuff in there. Oi, no worries, Noel Zaza. Oi, how sad is it that Ozzy Osbourne died? What a legend. Or if you're an Ozzy Osbourne fan, chuck us a thumbs up in the chat. How sad was it to see Sharon at the funeral? Oh, thank you, Yaska. I try and be a gentleman always. And that includes dressing like one. Oh, I know. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan as well. It was like the same week when Peter Brock and Steve Irwin died. Papadilla says, on your Biff, any stories on Alfie Gay? I don't even know who that is, bro. If I'm honest. Yeah, that's what it is. So, as you guys know, I went live last night and I bought this. I thought, well, might not let it go to waste. Oh, no way. A famous Ozzy Osbourne impersonator died like 7 days before. That's crazy. Yeah, you have been. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you know what? Do you know what? See how I've got like my button open like this? I don't even do that when I go out in public. I always do my top button up. Not that it matters, like I'm tattooed from arsehole to breakfast, but this is what I usually do. Biff, what do I think of the TJ? Oh, bro, the teaser. Oi, the teaser. If you guys haven't seen the teaser that TJ put out, oi, that guy is an editing genius. Do I believe in UFOs? All right. So I'm going to say this, yeah. I think it's a little bit naive to think that there's that many planets out there, and to think that we're the only life force on one. Look, I've got. I went to year 11, and that's as far as I went. And I literally still couldn't read then. I literally still couldn't read 5 years ago. So, I think that it's just naive to think that. That's what I think. How rough is it that they keep bringing up shit about Warney when he died in time? Yeah, 100%. Like, let people rest in peace. Except for Keefe George. Who said that? How do the Africans fare inside? Yeah, they fare pretty well. They've got a pretty large population. Oi, TJ, what about that? You couldn't have put it any better. I was just giving you props, and you joined the chat, TJ, you legend. Ebbsy, what's going on? Chilling with the guitar. James Kerr. Rhino Danger Edwards. A Biff. I already answered that one. Oh, yeah. If you could, guys. So, right. So, I've worked out that the like button is on a different spot on everyone's PC, phone, and whatever. But on mine right now, it's somewhere over fucking here. There. Hello. Yeah, so smash that like button. If you guys are liking my live, just hit that like button. Be much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, guys, jump over there, show TJ some love, show him a follow, and yeah, check out his teaser that he dropped. My God, next level editing. Truth and justice. Hey, listen. Look, I'm just gonna not answer that question. No, but oi, look, what I will say is, bro, the dude's a. I will say this, yeah, he's staunch. He is staunch, like, yeah. But once again, like, you're never gonna hear me like saying anything bad about anyone. Name's Billy Hunt. Oi, thank you, Dancer, for the membership. Cyborg Boxing, thank you for the bloody $14.99 super chat. But yeah, here's the truth. Like, yeah, I know the guy well, so that's why you'll never get me saying anything bad about him. Do you know anything about that guy Max from Prentridge in Chopper's books who burnt the dude in his cell or got burnt in his cell or something? Look. No, I'll just say I don't. Because I love Uncle Chop. Don't we, Tex? Where's the best kebabs in Melbourne? Oh, it's got to be somewhere on friggin' Sydney Road. Definitely. I could share some photos in the Discord. Anyone interested? Confirm. Oh, he chuck it in the Discord, AB. Jimmy Lofton died in the Jaika fire. This is correct. 100%. Just gonna do that for a sec. What about the parquetry, Biff? Yeah. What about the parquetry? I don't even know if that's the correct word. I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about when I don't. Oi, Tex, as soon as I jump off live here, give us a buzz on me messenger. So yeah, like, so Jimmy, like, very famously stabbed Chopper. That's a true fact. Are there any hippies in prison? So yeah, so very few and far between. But like, yeah, you do meet a few. I did this one guy's dreadlocks. I actually had dreadlocks when I was like 18 or 19. Like I was a bit of a hippie myself. Actually, used to go watch like um, John Butler Trio and what was that other dude's name? The Aussie guy with the blonde hair. Anyway, I used to go to Falls Festival and shit. But anyway, I did this guy's dreads and yeah, I've met a couple of hippies in prison. Or Amusha kebabs in Footscray, yeah. Mwah. I'll tell you what. Have we got any Arabs in the chat right now? Because if we've got any Arabs in the chat right now, all I'll say is Shukran and Andak Baklawa. Sydney Road, best baklawa. Poor mate, 100%. So it spins people out. So when I was on my way home today from Melbourne, I went in to buy a vape from this shop, and I said to the guy, "Oh, what nationality are you, mate?" He said, "Oh, I'm Egyptian." I said, "Do you speak Arabic?" He goes, "Yeah." And next thing you know, I start speaking to him in Arabic. He goes, "What the hell? Like, well, how you know?" I said, "If I told you how I know, I go, you probably wouldn't like me." So here's the truth, right? The reason I learned to speak Arabic was when I was in the slot. I was in the slot at Charlotte, and if you know, you know, when you're in the spine, there's 6 cells up either side, and like I was one of 2 Aussies that were in there, and the rest of them were Arabic. So I learned how to speak Arabic from being in segregation, and I can actually, not that I'm proud of it, but I can ask for Suboxone in so many different languages. Oi, Gunhead, what's going on, brother? Oi, TJ says Habif. I said that to him when we were in the car the other day. I said, Do you know what all the Arabs call me in prison? He said, What? I said, Habif. He nearly fell out of the car laughing. Do you think Craig Minogue should get parole? Look, whether or not I think he should get parole, whether or not he will get parole is a different question. You've got to understand when you kill someone in prison, that slightly lowers your chance of getting parole a little bit more. X-Ray Cat says wagons, yeah. So yeah, I can say it. I can even say it in Greek, yotta. I can say it in. So when I used to ask for it off the Viets, now I don't know why they say this, but I used to say wick. And so when you say, so I can say ice in Arabic is talesh and bup is jesh. What other languages do I know? Yeah, you pretty soon learn how to ask if it's somebody who gets into the that kind of thing like I did when I was in prison. I make no, I'm very transparent, and I said from the day I got to prison to the day I left, I did boop every single day, and like it is what it is, and so you very soon learn to speak the languages of the people that can't speak your one. Or you know what? True story. So here's the truth, right? And another reason that helped me learn Arabic is because when I was in Scarb South, literally like 80% of that unit was Arabs. And so all of them used to cheat playing cards and they all used to say the numbers. So from 1 to 13 would be like obviously 2. And then they would go number 13 would be an ace, right? And so I literally learned from 1 to 13 in Arabic just so I could understand when they were cheating so I could cheat too. Wait, I didn't even see. Has my mum been in here and I didn't even see her? Evie, you going too? Bye, Evie. See, Evie, thanks for joining, legend. Yeah, everyone calls my mum Mama Biff. It started from when I was doing TikTok. Obviously, everyone calls me Biff, and then everyone just started calling my mum Mama Biff. I know. She will be Craig. All right, legends. So I'll be live for another 10 minutes, just letting you know. Matty Boy says, Biff, how come you weren't charged for smashing Harley Hicks? Why do some people get charged for fights and others don't? Well, let me just tell you the one reason I wasn't charged for smashing Harley Hicks in Port Phillip Medical. And that was because Harley Hicks is in prison for doing what he did to a baby. And screws hate them as much as I hate them. And so that got swept under the carpet. Same as when I did the same thing and made Jason Noy wear the single bed for a helmet. All right, Yaska, much love, brother. Thank you, Dancer. Yeah, jump on Discord, Mumsy. You'll be playing Call of Duty in no time. Or a true story, my mum used to game back in the day. Not even lying. That's how I got into gaming. My mum and dad actually used to game. MJ Inch, thank you for the $7.99 super chat, legend. I don't know how to tell the difference between super chat and super likes and super dupers. King Kebabs, King Street. Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. True story. I went and got a HSP from there 2 nights ago. You like that one, Paul? Wait, Dancer, thank you for the $5. Is that a super chat? I don't know. How do you tell the difference? Thank you, legend. Wait, I'm trying to like that. It's bloody giving me a nightmare. Come back here. There we go. Yes. Yep. YouTube take. So I believe it's changed now, Craig. I actually looked up on this myself the other day. And wait, X-Ray Cat for the $10 super chat. A wag it on me. Keep it. Oh, bro, well done. Very good. That made me laugh. If you guys don't know what a wagon is, everyone in prison calls when you're getting a drug deal, they call it a wagon. Why do they call it a wagon? Because a wagon wheel. A wagon wheel rhymes with deal. I'm going to get a deal. A wagon wheel. Got to get a PayPal set up so we can give you the whole thing. Oh, if that's what you want me to do, I'll do that. I can add it. I've seen other people have theirs added to their YouTube like bio or whatever. But yeah, I just didn't do it because like I just didn't want you to think I was a grifter or whatever. Yeah, I can't help it. I speak so much prison lingo. Wait. I used to gamble on the underground fighting in Melbourne and UK in the UK. Bullshit. I- Is that you, Joel? just so I don't get it confused. So Cyborg Boxing, just so I got it right. That's you, Joel, yeah? No. Okay. All right. Because I wasn't sure. I wasn't. Anyway, you'll understand why I wasn't sure. You're Cyborg Boxing. Joel's a boxer. Anyway. Uh-huh. Should do a live on Prison Lingo. You know, Yillaboo, Nullabo, Alabo, Wallabot, Alabo, Polabo, Billaby, Killaby, Dilbo, Dalla, Hollabol, Dillaby, Olabon, Pillabin, Dillaby, Zillamin, Dillabing. Or, yeah, I actually speak very fluent prison lingo. Oi, guys, I'm going to. Oi, AB, I will pin that message. So, guys, we have a Discord server. If you guys click on that link there that AB's put there, that's our Discord server. That's all we else. That's how we all stay in contact when we're not live or when I'm not doing a premiere. We've all been having mad conversations over there, so it's the best way to stay in contact with the whole Chaos crew. And yeah, it's just a good way to for our whole community to stay in contact. TJ is live. Sign up to KO5 get a Stripe account and get donations through KO5. All right, I'll suss it out. Yeah, but here's the thing. So the only reason I haven't done all that stuff is because like that's the least of my worries for what I'm doing. You know, like I guess it's got nothing to do with what I'm doing. What I'm doing is about bringing attention to this world that I lived and trying to get our younger generation not to do what I did. Thank you, white folks. I hope you have a good night in. Did you say you were from the UK or the US? US. Yep, gotcha. Oi, text you mad bloody Western man. Make sure you give me a call when I jump off. What's the time? Oh, yeah. So I'm going to jump off. So I'll be jumping off in exactly a minute and a half, guys. Jessica Edwards, how you going? So yeah, guys. Also, jump up there. Fucking the mirror does my head in. I swear to God, I'm so bloody. So wherever that is, somewhere there, that pinned comment that I've pinned. And yeah, also, guys, if you guys need to contact me directly, this is my email. Big BIG Biffs BIFFS gaming GAMING at gmail.com. Big Biffs gaming at gmail.com. I'm gonna add I thought I did wait, AB. That's added to my profile, isn't it? Yeah? On my YouTube profile. Thank you, AB. Look, I'm gonna pin that. There you go. Goodbye, naughty boy. Going good. Thanks for the chat. Take care. No worries. Thank you, MJ Inch. No worries. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, my day's been pretty good. Oi, true story, right? So when I was going to Southern Cross Station, so as you guys know, I I gave the homeless lady my hotel room for the night. Everyone's saying, bro, what about your bond? Rah, rah, rah." But I don't give a shit. As long as she's got a shower, I gave her $50 for food, and I left there's a bottle of Coke in the fridge, and I also left a couple of munchies in there for her. But anyway, like all yeah, I was just happy that she was happy, and that's all that I cared about. All right, guys, but I am going to jump off. My son just got us some pizzas, and Tex, if you're still here, give me a call, bro, and we'll have a chat. And all right, guys, thank you so much for joining my live. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6:30. I'll be dropping a video, and I'll be doing a premiere, so I'll be able to chat again in the premiere. 100% JF from I'm almost at 32K. I'm pumped. It's awesome. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off now. Thank you so much for joining my live, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 6:30 for my video premiere. You guys are absolute legends. I couldn't do this without ya. And yeah, thank you so much. Ciao, ciao. We out.